Hey everyone, I'm Local 3's Molly Hullabeek.
And I'm Rebecca Bartlemay, and we're standing at Lighthouse Point, which right behind us is the iconic Marquette Lighthouse.
Yeah, and we've heard some rumors that this place might be haunted, so we decided to pair up with Uber Paranormal for another overnight investigation.
And we found a bunch of evidence which could be spirits.
We'll let you be the judge in this episode of Explore the Haunted UP Shore. It was literally a dark and stormy night when we pulled up to the lighthouse for the investigation. Once we got settled in and reunited with our friends from Uber Paranormal, tour guide Susan gave us a quick tour of the building and told us about the haunted legends of the Marquette Lighthouse.
All right, so normally when we come in, we start in this room right here. This is our little art gallery room. There's some super talented local artists in the Marquette area that have contributed some of their work. And then we move on into this next room, which features some lovely historic photographs of the lighthouse.
I have been with the Maritime Museum and Lighthouse for 2 summers now. I didn't actually believe in ghosts before I started volunteering here, and now I most definitely do, beyond a shadow of a doubt. This summer alone, I've had so much stuff happen that I can't explain, from footsteps upstairs when you know nobody's upstairs because nobody accesses the second floor on the tours. I've actually been up here with another tour guide and heard the footsteps, and I've gone up to check with my camera phone out because I'm very brave when I have my phone in my hand. And you just heard a man walking, like big booted footsteps, and there's nobody there. It is the creepiest feeling.
We move down towards the tower, at which point I tell guests they are welcome to step out onto the platform. And they can sure take a look up the tower steps. They can take a photo if they'd like. We are not able to climb the tower steps, unfortunately. Hello. Yeah, careful, somebody might answer you.
Hello, hello, hello.
This life vest right here on the windowsill likes to move of its own accord. There has been mornings when I've come in to unlock for the first tour, and this life vest is in the middle of the floor, all by itself.
Well, this building has been here for a long time, so there's a lot of history going on here. And because of the type of building that it was a lighthouse, and so there were shipwrecks and all kinds of things going on. So there was a lot of people that died around here. Not very many that actually died in this building or on this point. But as they say, you know, being on the point like we are in the water kind of makes a good place for the spirits.
This bottom step is a little bit steeper than the rest, so just be prepared for that. You guys step down. You hear that? So this is the winch room. This is how they originally brought supplies up to the lighthouse. This floor opened up as a trap door, and these white doors right here also opened up, and there was little train tracks down the hill, and they would winch supplies up to the lighthouse because after walking, they would winch up fuel, flour.
I've seen winch.
Yeah, no. After walking those red stairs tonight, you guys don't want to be carrying a barrel of fuel up those. So this was how that happened. Wow. This is also the site of our famous ghostly footprints. Now these footprints used to be on the floor, but this spring, some of our board members cut the floorboards out where the footprints used to be.
They took them out?
Oh no, they're on the wall behind you now.
Oh.
So they took them out of the floor to preserve them because they were starting to show a bit of wear and tear from being walked on. There are still 2 on the floor. If you look right down here, you will see one right here, and then there is one little sideways one right here. So as the story was told to me, the subfloor had to be replaced in the late 1990s due to water damage. So they put down new plywood, they gave it a coat of gray paint, they locked up the lighthouse, and they went home for the night. Nobody was living here at that time. Imagine their surprise when they came back the next morning and there was little footprints, little bare footprints through the paint.
There's supposed to be a little girl that is in the lighthouse, and she is a happy little girl, not a mean ghost by any means, but she runs around and plays, and I guess wreaks a little bit of havoc, and some people get to experience her, but I have not yet experienced her. We have looked up to see if there's anybody that's died, any little children that have died on Lighthouse Point or in the lighthouse, and we have not found anything. But we just know that she has been around for a while, and a lot of people speculate that this was maybe her happy place. So even if she didn't die here, she comes here because this was her happy place. Maybe she was a visitor and just wanted to come back here because she liked it.
The energy changes up here. So this room right down here to the right, end of the hall on the right, was Keeper Sale's room. He's the one that passed from a heart attack. So this is actually the room that second assistant Keeper Sales passed away from a heart attack in. We don't access the second floor. The plan is to have the lighthouse restored to its former glory eventually, and then the entire thing will hopefully be open to the public. Because it is a wonderful building.
It sure is.
But yeah, the energy up here is a little different than the energy downstairs.
After getting to know the lighthouse a little bit, it was time to help Trish, Kelly, and Rhonda set up the cameras and other ghost-busting equipment.
Remy can detect electromagnetic
What's
field.
that?
If something goes near Remy,
End it.
it will go off.
End it.
Oh gosh. Just helping Trish and Kelly set up here. Just taping some cords to our camera so we don't trip on them when it's lights out.
I am playing with Uper Paranormal's Ovulus, and it is pre-programmed with a huge dictionary of words, and the paranormal can use it to communicate. So we just picked up the words truth, far, and syllables.
What do you think that means?
I have no idea.
We are having technical difficulties.
And only because they like to manipulate things, I think, because we have a clear picture on one camera, then the other three were clear, and now all of a sudden they're not.
They have like a fog.
They have like a fog, we wiped it off. There goes my wiper. And it's still fine.
That is just crazy.
Up next, lights out on Explore the Haunted UP Shore.
What are we doing right now?
I don't really know. We're going to start EVP sessions, I think. We're starting in the basement where the footprints, that they showed us earlier are, and where this little girl is. So
There's some freaky toys like Boo Bear, aesthetic cars, so it'll be interesting.
we started the EVP sessions by using the recorders to ask some simple
But
questions.
if there are others here, you're welcome to talk too. Is there a child here?
Is there a child here? If there is, can somebody give me that child's name?
It's right there, right after the name.
We questioned a couple of things we caught on the EVPs.
Right there.
Something.
It's right there, and I don't know what they're saying.
And on the Ovulus.
Dude, it said several,
Yeah.
and then there was a name Pam was on
I
there
saw that.
earlier.
But it wasn't until we started using the Portal Plus that we finally started getting some answers.
Is there a Pam here?
Is the keeper here?
Are you Keeper Sales? Who's the little boy that's here? How old are you? Did you? I heard two. I heard two. Okay. Yeah. Do you know Susan? Sweetheart, what's your name?
Say hello, Susan.
That's what I thought.
Yes, he said yes.
So So what's going on? Are you feeling sick right now?
Yeah, I am. Just stomach is upset, and I don't know, just a lot of energy going on down there. It's pretty heavy right now. So usually leaving the room and coming into a different one for a few minutes, just getting some fresh air helps. Whatever that machine is called.
Yeah.
They
Photo
didn't-
Plus.
Yeah, that must be a new machine because they didn't have that last time. That is crazy. Like, someone definitely said Susan's name, and we heard a child's voice. So, yeah, that's some action going on down there.
My feet.
So we just went downstairs and we tried this portal thing, and we didn't have that when we went to the NAMA, and we tried it this time, and it is so cool because you can actually hear the voices, and this is my new favorite little ghost hunting tool.
The hunt continues on the haunted UP shore. That and more up next.
I have a feeling that the woman's upstairs. I don't know why. Okay. I just have a feeling. So we need to go up there.
After a very active session in the basement, we went upstairs to see if we could contact caretaker sales or possibly the spirit of a female caretaker that some say still resides on the second floor.
It's supposed to be stronger energy.
It was kind of going crazy there.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
I did.
Right when we were about to take our session in the bedroom where caretaker sales died, a few members of the group said they heard what sounded like a child singing coming from the stairwell.
I hear a child.
Is somebody's stomach growling?
No.
It sounds like a child wailing, like it's crying.
Right? Keeper Sales, yeah. Is Keeper Adam here? Are we disturbing you? Are you shy?
Is this David that's in here?
Come on, where's the lady keeper?
Something behind you?
Yeah.
You're singing behind me?
You heard it sing.
We continued to try to make contact with the lighthouse spirits throughout the night. There is no working heating system in the building, and as the night grew long, activity seemed to slow down, and we all began to get very cold and tired. Molly and I were brave enough to do a session with Kelly and Rhonda in the laundry room, which, oddly enough, was much warmer than the rest of the lighthouse, even though it was further down into the basement. That's when another sudden burst of activity put us back on our toes.
Can you let us know you're here by knocking on the ceiling or the wall? Can you repeat this sound, please? On my arm. Push on my arm.
Somebody did something like
I felt
like
something
this.
like right here. When I was standing there. Push on my arm.
Just now?
Right there, yes.
When the right after the knock.
Oh, I got the goosebump. I gotta get up.
Next, we went back to the shipwreck room to try out another paranormal investigation tool, the dowsing rods. Cross if it's a yes, move to the sides if it's a no. Are we welcome here? No.
Keeper Sale, are you with us? Thank you.
Straighten them out, please. After a few more sessions with a couple other gadgets, there was one last thing we wanted to investigate, the stairway to the tower light. So, we elected Molly and Rhonda to be the ones to do it. Since activity pretty much stopped and things were winding down, Susan had the idea to play a little trick and scare them with a knock on the wall from outside. We all kind of felt bad after that, but it was a fun joke worth pulling off. After that, our investigation at the Marquette Lighthouse was complete, and it was time to pack up and ship out. Stay tuned for the evidence reveal after the break. After reviewing the hours of footage, we met up with Uper Paranormal, who showed us and Hillary and Susan evidence from our investigation.
The first one that I'm going to do, we were using the portal. We were asking, I think Trish was asking, do you know her name? Referring to Rhonda. Do you know, what is her name? Do you know her name? And we actually did get Rhonda's last name on the portal.
David, do you know this lady's name?
Oh. She's right there.
That was a woman's voice. Sounded like.
It sounded like a woman's voice. This was the portal. We were asking them to tell us the secret word.
The secret word was no, but the spirit didn't seem to want to play along.
Remember it and repeat it, please.
That is like clear as day.
And Rhonda, she goes, can you finish this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm listening to it on the first recorder, and we have the continuous down there, or we would never have caught this. Ooh, yeah. And that's where I got touched.
Yeah, you can hear the clunk clunk.
Can you repeat this song, please?
Remember when some of us thought we heard singing? Well, we were able to get evidence of that too.
We're all talking. You'll hear us all talking. You have to listen behind our voices to hear this, but you're going to hear it.
It does this to say about trees right Susan said we can take this up on the catwalk thing too, so.
Okay.
Where are the cameras in this?
We might just. Honestly, I think the GoPro's probably better outside right now.
Okay.
We set up the trap.
Oh my god.
Don't say anything until he listens.
Catwalk thing too, so.
That is awesome.
So does it not sound like a little boy?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
It sounds like a little boy.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
He's
what I said.
happy.
He sounds happy.
And he's singing.
Singing and playing.
That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing to have confirmation of what we figured was going on in there, to actually hear voices and intelligent responses, and it's mind-blowing, the technology that these ladies have. It was really incredible to be part of it.
What do you think was the most hair-raising part of the reveal?
For me, it was hearing the male spirit say, "Hello, Susan." That was pretty freaky.
There's something there. I mean, definitely do think there's something there, and it just makes it more interesting to work there, and people love paranormal.
I mean, we got, from what we've heard of past stories, we got a child, we got the lady keeper, we have who I believe is Keeper Sales, and what we've been told, hard worker, she loves people, and the little spirit child just likes to play. And I just thought it was amazing to get all the evidence that we did get.
I think everything we experienced pointed to most of them being intelligent hauntings. And that's kind of important, because that means they're still kind of living, but obviously differently than we do. They're living in a different world, just kind of still doing the things they like to do.
Before that night, I had never stepped foot in that building. So for it to know my last name was pretty impressive. I heard spirits know you once you walk through the door.
That was definitely an interesting night. Molly, what do you think stood out to you the most from the investigation?
Well, aside from my little pretend scare in the stairwell, I would have to say definitely looking back on the EVP sessions and listening to some of the distinctive evidence like the no or the knockback, that was really weird.
Do you know our secret word?
Definitely. I thought the child singing was hair-raising. I mean, you could definitely tell it was a tune of some sort, and it was a kid, which was a little creepy.
Well, I guess the legend lives on.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Join us next time as we continue to explore the UP shore.